Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to contour with cream products. There are many different ways to contour, many different techniques, many different steps, just many different ways to do it. I know it can be a little bit intimidating because it's more of a, not an advanced technique, but it's more of a extra technique that you don't really have to do on an everyday basis, but if you want to, why not? So yeah, today I'm going to be showing you how I do it, how it's the easiest for me, and what products I use, and just everything. I'm just gonna talk you through it pretty much. It might be kind of a lengthy video, but you know, I tried to keep it fun. I tried to stay me. This video was requested on Facebook by my good friend Terry. He wanted to, or it was for his girlfriend. He said his girlfriend was interested in finding out how to do it, so thank you for requesting this video. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and so yeah, if you want to see how to contour with cream products, then just keep watching. Alright, so we're going to start this contour video by moisturizing our skin and laying down the foundation. So this is a part where you can use your favorite primer, face moisturizer, whatever it is that you use to put on your foundation. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm mixing my foundation with cocoa butter lotion, just because my face is really dry because of the winter, and it's just been working out for me because it's kind of been working as a primer as well, the lotion. So that's what I'm doing. If you are really dry right now and want to try what I'm doing, which is using the cocoa butter, I would recommend you test it out on your face first, maybe in a little corner, or you know, just moisturize overnight, see how your face reacts to the cocoa butter, and then if you have a good reaction, which means nothing happens, you just wake up glowy, then there you go, you can mix it with your foundation. Yeah, so I would just test it out, just like really anything that you start to put on your face. Alright, so what I do is I just pump a little bit of foundation in the back of my hand, and then right on top of that I'll add the cocoa butter, like literally a dollop, you can see, and then I'll just mix it with my finger, and then I'm gonna dot it all over my face. So then I wipe the rest off of the palm of my hand onto my beauty blender, and then I just blend it into my skin. So my beauty blender is damp, and I'm just gonna pat it all in my skin. Alright, so once you've set your base, and if you are familiar, if you do your makeup a lot and you're familiar with your face, then you can go right ahead and go in and start contouring. But if you're new to makeup, or it intimidates you, or you're just like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, you kind of want to take the time out to look at your face. I know you look at your face every day, but what I mean by that is like really look at your face, look at your features, look at your bone structure, look at where everything is. Alright, that is really what helped me understand what looked good on me, because when you watch a video or a tutorial, you are seeing the person do it on themselves, so then you could kind of get confused and be like, well, I'm supposed to do it like that. No, you can take what you learn and adapt it to your face, because your face does not look like my face or whoever's video you're watching. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So for example, let's say this is my first time, so I'm just gonna look in the mirror, and you're gonna see where your cheekbones are. For me, you can suck in if you want. My cheekbones are right here. They're usually, I mean, usually everybody's face anatomy is kind of the same, so you could go from the top of your ear, that's usually where you'll find the bone, and then you know, you'll see where the bone is, because contouring is kind of bringing shadows to the hollows of your face, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna place some contour here, and then if you have a really big, not really big, but if you think your forehead is big, you can contour your forehead. I don't think my forehead's big, but I just do it to bring balance, because I just don't want like darkness here and then everything else, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna apply contour here, and I'm gonna do it around my hairline, not too low because my forehead's not that big, so I just a little bit to balance out the color. Another place where you can do it is in your jawline. So if you really want to achieve that chiseled Johnny Bravo jaw. Then you want to look at your jawline, see where it naturally is and where you would like it to be. So where you're gonna place the shadow. I'm gonna do it all just so you can see everything, but usually I will just contour my cheekbones, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my jawline just to balance out the color. I never contour my nose because I just think it just looks, I don't know, a little bit surgical, like I got my nose done, so I don't really like it. I'm gonna do it just a little bit just so you guys can see, you know, the whole thing, whatever, right? All right, so as far as products, so what I use, and I find them, they're really inexpensive and they're really good. I use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, pretty much in every fucking shade. So the trick is, if you don't want to spend the money on those expensive contour palettes, you know, it's not on your budget and you just want to get kind of the same look, you can go with this alternative. These are really good products. I've been using them for a while. I freaking love them. Obviously, as you can see, this one's kind of out. So what I do is I'll pick my concealer shade, which is the shade that I use to go under my eyes, hide my dark circles. That's where I start. So I will focus on that shade. For me, that color is Creamy Beige in the LA Girl Concealer. This is my everyday concealer. This is what I use under my eyes to hide imperfections. This is it. So from here, I will then determine my contour shades by going darker. Then I picked up Toffee. Toffee is a little bit darker. So the Toffee one is the one that I use to warm up my skin. So this is just a darker version of this. Same price, and it's gonna work as to like bronze up my skin, I guess, right? So I go with Toffee. Then they have Chestnut and Espresso. These are the same concealers, they're just the darker shades. So I'm gonna go with Chestnut to contour, like to deepen that chisel where I want to like really accentuate it. That's what I'm gonna go with Chestnut. So as you can see, you can skip the whole contour palette and just go ahead and go with your favorite concealer and then pick darker shades that are going to complement your skin tone and help you contour your face. Alright, so here's how we're going to start. I usually start with the darker colors, like I'll contour first and then I will highlight later or afterwards just to kind of clean up anything, any mess ups, anything like that. Alright, Toffee is the one I'm going with first. This one's just going to warm up. Alright, I'm going to test it out on the back of my hand. Just kind of make sure I like the consistency and I take all the excess off. You don't want too much. You always want to be able to add more instead of having to take off, alright? So, I determined that my cheekbone is right here, okay? So I'm gonna start mapping it out. And a key to the chisel look is you never want to drag the product down. You always want to drag it up, hugging your cheekbone. Because if you go below that and just drag it down, that's gonna make your face wider instead of chiseled, right? So that you always want to go upwards. So here I'm just adding up a little bit of warmth. You can go all the way. I don't really like it. I feel like, you know, again, surgical. I'm not into that. So I just add a little bit and then I go into my forehead, like really close to my hairline. And I'm just adding that warm color just to warm up my skin, to give me, you know, that fake tan. Alright, once I'm happy with the placement where everything is, I'm gonna grab my beauty blender. For this one, I use a more pointy, kind of thin one. This is my other one. This is for like all over, and then this one's a little thinner, which will help me be more precise in keeping that product going up instead of just sponged everywhere, alright? So here we go.
From your ass in a minute. Well, it was more than 60 seconds, shit, so fuck all the gimmick. She say I'm happy in the game.
Okay, so once I like the placement, I will go in with my beauty blender that I use for my foundation, and I will just go in and blend it out some more. Since this already has a little foundation left on it, it's gonna help blend my foundation with the dark so that it's more seamless and not so like, damn bitch, you contoured today.
Not the same, but who are we to blame?
Alright, so now we are a little bit more tan. Or step one of the contour. So again, with the warm shade, I'm just gonna go under, literally on where I want a little shadow, and just warm it up. The tiniest bit. As you probably seen, I haven't pumped any more out. It's just I'm just using whatever's on the back of my hand. Okay, so again with this one you want to drag down onto your neck, because that will bring the shadow.
Don't keep in contact, cause we ain't see eye to eye like a pair of contacts. Arguments by women in my contact.
Alright. So now we're tanned. And now we're gonna go in with the dark color, just to chisel in exactly where we want it to be. Alright. So again, with whatever's in the back of my hand, this one I really like wipe off the excess because I don't want it to be like hardcore. Alright? Then I go in, move them baby hairs though, as much as they can move. And I will go in and start to add the color.
That things change, relationships not the same, but who are we to blame? Cause the love is not the same.
Alright, Gucci. Now we grab in the beauty blender and we start to blend upwards.
I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going,
Alright, so basically I am contoured and blended. Of course, I just love to blend, so I could sit here all day and keep blending, but I'm just gonna keep moving forward. Alright, and then with a little bit, I'm gonna wipe off like as much excess as I can, going on that jawline, just a little bit. And go in. Come on, with my fat beauty blender, just make sure I'm blending that into my neck. I don't have any harsh lines or craziness. See, so it kind of creates like a new shadow, a new chin, a new jawline. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the chestnut color, dark one, ever so lightly. I repeat, ever so lightly. Go down my nose, kind of to make it look thinner. That's the power of contour. Okay? So just on the sides.
Cause she don't know where she going. Go.
As you can see how it's like looking snatched, like I just got surgery. Okay, you can go in with your beauty blender and start to blend downwards. You don't want to blend in the middle because that's going to defeat the whole purpose and make your nose look fat as hell. That's not what we want.
Arguments by women in my contacts. Every time I try to leave, you just.
Okay, then I'll go in with my finger and just kind of blend whatever's left or where my beauty blender didn't fit.
Like, what other nigga done that? He on race for your love, bitch.
There we go. Light nose contour, light. So on the back of my hand, pump it out and then go straight to the areas to highlight. So under my eyes.
You know that things change, relationships not the same, but who? Oh.
I'll put some on the side of my nose because that's where I get the most redness. On the sides of my mouth because that's what I break out like I'm
The love is not the same. Nah, not the love is not the.
Also, bringing the highlight here can also help you make your nose look more narrow because you're bringing the highlight to your cheeks and kind of cutting the nose. Top of my cheekbones. I'll put some in the middle of my nose. On the tip of my nose. Cupid's bow. I told y'all I'm heavy with the concealer. This is like my favorite part. On the bottom of my chin. And a wee bit on the middle of my forehead. Okay. I'm gonna show you how to fix the contour, but first we're gonna just blend with this, okay? You can go ahead and use a new beauty blender so you don't use the darkness, but I'm just gonna use the bottom because I hadn't used it yet. I will also prime my eyes with this. So whatever excess is left, I'll go onto my eyelids just to kind of hide the redness, make everything one even color.
Got a gimmick, she say I'm happy in the game. Her preacher got in it, she was.
Alright, so to clean up the contour, you're gonna grab your concealer shade and go right where you want it to cut off. So for example, I'm gonna go right here and cut it off. And then this one I'm gonna drag down because that's where I want the brightness. This one I'll drag in because that's where I have my blemishes. But you can see how it makes it like super chiseled for the quads. Then we blend it. If you like an intense sharp line, you can go ahead and leave it. But I like to be a little bit more natural, so I'll go on the line and just kind of merge them. Just ever so lightly. So you can see like the separation of color, but not like, huh, bitch, you contour. You know, just lightly to kind of blend that line out. So it's not just like, you know what I'm saying? Unless that's what you like. If you're into that, go ahead, boo. Same thing on the other side.
Yeah, like what other nigga done that?
Oh, you see? Chiseled. So for the most part, we are contoured. Now, we are going to set everything. So this is where the powder comes in. So first I'm gonna set my under eyes because they crease like alcohol. For this, I'm just gonna use a translucent powder. And I'm just gonna set the under eye.
Not the same, but who are we to blame?
I know I said I wasn't too fond of powders, and I'm not, but setting my under eye is a must because if I don't, shit's just gonna crease.
Going, so baby girl, I'm going.
If you're like extremely dry and powders are just like hell nah, don't do it, skip this part. But I do recommend it just because it blends everything better. Alright, and then with my bronzer, the powder that I use to just bronze my face, and a big brush, I'm just gonna go over the contour, the bronzer areas, okay? Alright, once I've done that, I'm gonna grab the powder that I use to contour, which is just a darker shade. Not too dark, I'm not with that. Then an angle brush is kind of gonna fit where I want the contour. You see how it fits? Cute. Little bit. Tap off a bunch of excess, okay. And go in.
Just got your text. I ain't heard from your ass in a minute. Well, it was more than 60 seconds, shit, so fuck all the gimmick. She say I'm.
Then I'll grab the big brush that I just used and make sure that I'm blending just all over that, okay? For the nose. Ever so lightly, I'll grab some powder and go in and set that. Nothing crazy because again, I'm just not a big nose contour fan. I'm sorry. There you go, we're contoured. And then this is the part where you will add your highlight. I know that you're not supposed to do creams on top of powders because there's a chance of it looking crazy and cakey, but I really like this liquid highlighter, Girl Meets Pearl by Benefit. So the key here to avoid the cakiness is to pat it on top, not rub it, but pat it. So I'm gonna pump it a little bit out on my finger and then pat it on the areas that I want, right? So on top of my cheekbones. Yes. Give me that glow. I'll do some on top of my eyebrow. I do a mix of like strobing and the regular way to highlight. That's just my thing. My Cupid's Go because it makes my lipstick pat. A little bit on my chin. Again, if you have a big chin or you really don't like your chin, don't highlight it because what's that doing? Bringing attention to it, right?
Say, go ahead, go ahead.
Alright. And there I am. Nice, warm, contour chiseled. Hey girl. I'm gonna finish my face and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Alright, and this is the final look. As you can see, my cheekbones are on fleek. I have a little bit more color than I did when I started. The power of makeup. And yeah, I just put on my eyebrows, threw on some lashes and some lipstick, and I was ready to go. I really like to do contour looks when I'm not gonna wear too much eye makeup or bright lips, or maybe I'll throw in a bright lip, but not just too crazy, because if I do like the full-on glam, that's when I'm like, ooh girl, you know, I'll be looking extra snatched. I myself, I'm starting to just barely like get comfortable in like full-on glam, you know, so don't feel weird if the first time you have a full contour on you feel like you look weird, or you know, but as long as everything's blended, you look fine. You'll probably look really hot and chiseled, and you know, hey. Alright, so if you like this video, if you learned something cool, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And I want to give a huge thank you to Carolina for requesting this video. I really like when y'all give me ideas on what to film, because it helps me, you know, get creative and just make more videos. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace. So I recently just put my hub's new album on my phone. Let me do a shameless plug. It comes out on Monday. I'm gonna zoom into it because why not? So yeah, it's The Art of Soul. It freaking jams, and when you get it on your phone, it makes it like cute and purple. Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't think that's cute? That's so cute. It's 9 songs. It jams. It's free online on DatPiff and BitTorrent. You can download it. And yeah, you should go get it, because, not to be biased, but it's kind of the shit. Alright, so thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time.
Still fight, my last words, baby, good night. Cause I know getting it.